Hey everybody, welcome back to the Dota Pit League season number 3. Thank you so much for joining us. We are in the group stages. It is Group A. It's a matchup between Cloud9 and ASUS.Polar coming at you. Our only match of the day, a 2-game series, is almost fatefully canceled. However, we made it. We're in here. We're ready to go. Looking forward to it as always. Joined by the HighGroundTV production squad. We got Pitmunkle doing the observing and production. We got Mawpax doing the stats. And we've got Trouf as my co-caster. Trouf, how the hell are you, man?
I am doing pretty good. Had to rejoin the game there for a second, so my Dota TV should be working, but yeah, doing pretty good. I'm excited to see actually ASUS.Polar. I've ever since we cast them and FNG ran that the global tree AA plus silencer Zeus combo. I've really been a fan of watching them, so I'm excited.
Yeah, it's actually kind of weird to remember that as their last game or one of the last games we cast. That was actually insane. It's something we haven't seen ever, and that's kind of the style of ASUS.Polar, is drafting really weird shit and then running with it and making sure it works out for them. And it led them to a 2-0 victory against Team Tinker, I believe. Now they have Cloud9. A bit of a more difficult matchup here, although a lot of people would probably say that it's even, but it could go either way. We'll see how it turns out for both of these squads, honestly.
Yep. And so they're picking up the Venge and the Slark in the first two. Picking up the Slark relatively early, I would say. But like there are certain counters to the Slark, but they're not like hard counters where you would say like if someone has a for instance a Tinker in their lineup and they're really good with Tinker, there are some hard counters to Tinker like Spectre, but you don't pick Spectre up early. So Slark is picked up early. There's not like a huge counter to him. I honestly would say one of the best counters to Slark is actually Shadow Fiend, but Shadow Fiend was actually banned out first by them. The reason I say that is because a lot of Shadow Fiend's damage comes. It's magical damage, and it can hit targets without targeting them, which is great if you're playing against Slark, because even through the Shadow Dance, you can still do lots of damage to him. But they banned it out, so... the best other thing I could think of is maybe Void. Obviously, the Void's Chronosphere doesn't reveal Slark anymore through the ultimate, but you can still cast the Chrono before he ults. Like, you have to be... I mean, you can still... It goes both ways. You can get the Chrono off before he ults, you can also ult before he Chronos, but even if you do, it still shows him there, like, still... keeps him in place, and there's still potential to kill him that way.
Yeah, so there's Void, but also just in general, like any hero with an AoE ability, like a general AoE ability, a vague AoE ability. It doesn't have to be something that, like, it's definitely, anything targeted is kind of rough, but like you mentioned, you talked about Shadow Fiend, Tidehunter Ravage can be pretty good in that regard. There's other heroes, so I definitely agree with you. However, they pick it second, and ASUS.Polar, they're known for their Slark play for Illidan. That is probably one of his, if not his favorite hero for ASUS.Polar. But for Cloud9, they go for EE. They love to grab him a hard farming hero. They're going to go for the Anti-Mage. So we have some interesting matchups here between the carries already in the game, as they're picked second and third, respectively. That was not what I was expecting.
Anti-Mage is actually not too bad against Slark, too, because for a couple of reasons. One, Anti-Mage won't fight for very long, or for very long, I should say. He's just going to farm, and when you put a Slark Venge in the mix from the get-go, it means that you're not going to go aggressive onto Cloud9. These are heroes that cannot go aggressive. That being said, they pick up a Night Stalker. There's still maybe some room to go aggressive if you went like Venge. Honestly, if you did some kind of weird tri-lane with Venge, Night Stalker plus some other stronger laner. Yeah. The reason I said that they won't go aggressive, because Venge is not very good aggressive. But we actually saw Empire run an aggressive tri-lane with Venge. I don't remember if it was yesterday or the day before, but it was Venge Tuskar +1, and it actually did work. So,
I believe.
Yeah, on paper, Venge isn't that great aggressive, but I guess sometimes it can work. Just usually not.
I think the reason is that you can snowball and you can match Missile, and Empire we're just like, all right, I guess we'll try. We'll see how it works out. Night Stalker has like a Void. I guess he can just run at people, and then Venge can follow up because of that nice slow, and also Pounce as well. But yeah, I don't know. Going aggressive with this tri-lane seems kind of interesting. However, I'm pretty confident, like you mentioned, that ASUS.Polar will go for this Night Stalker as a support, because they've done that many times before, and G doesn't necessarily seem like a Night Stalker player. Yeah, I don't know if it's this team or another CIS team that I think it might have been. I think it might have been ASUS.Polar, honestly, that have run Night Stalker almost exclusively as a support, but I might be wrong about that. In fact, I probably am, but Mawpax can inform us if he's got the stats, so we'll see.
I feel like this is a Mag or DK Phobos hero, so I'm I'm not saying no, but oh, there's the Visage. So it's probably going to be a core Night Stalker here then.
All right, well, I'm 100% wrong.
Oh, it's
But
okay. That's okay. So Visage Venge, actually a pretty damn good pairing. I'm really wondering what they're going to do with their lanes, because nothing's set in stone just yet. Slark, the only problem is Slark's not the best laner in the world, and if you put a strong 1v1 hero against him in the offlane, then he can struggle a lot. The only reason I entertained the idea of Night Stalker going aggro tri-lane is just because he's actually not too bad in a tri-lane, because he has a ton of strength, he's very hard to kill, his nuke is pretty damn good, and it's a low mana cost nuke, so... but yeah, we'll just have to wait and see. Like, they have a lot of options at this point.
I like the hero right now because I feel like you just only need a couple of levels, and then because that changed to nighttime being so early on in the game, you just run around the map and you try to harass and get kills, and I think it's super solid. Worth mentioning also, they have an extraordinarily blue lineup. What does that mean? I don't know, but, you know, hope they could win with it. We'll see.
Yeah. Interesting with the with the Visage Revenge. I don't think they'll go Drow because they already have 2 melee heroes, although I have seen it been done before. Only problem is then where do you put the Drow? Mid? I guess it can go mid, but it's not the greatest mid hero. Bristleback's actually going to be the last hero, so we focus so much on ASUS.Polar, but Cloud9 finally have the full draft, so I'm guessing that's going to be a support Zeus then.
Yep.
So Zeus, Lion, Anti-Mage in the top lane, I'm presuming. Bristleback could be mid or off. I've seen actually fought to do both. Well, I've seen, I should say, Cloud9 do both, where they put a Bristleback mid or they put a Bristleback off.
I'm not sure which one they want to go for, honestly. I think Puck or Bristleback in the mid lane is both fine, and Puck or Bristleback in the off lane is both fine. Also, they've done Zeus support way back when, since even AUI was still on the team, so I think they're really comfortable with the Zeus support. Obviously, line they've played a lot for Misery, I believe. And then No-Tail probably grabbing up the Zeus. Anti-Mage for EE, no surprises there. For ASUS.Polar, they have 1 minute and 15 seconds left. They need another blue hero, or maybe just a hero that fits their lineup. That would also be good too. We'll see what they go for.
Yeah, give me a second. I'm being told that actually my Dota TV isn't working, even though I did restart. So, oh, it is. Okay. Oh, delay things. Okay, never mind. Thanks, Pitmunkle. Okay, cool. So it is working, but yeah, one more pick. They got to go with this blue theme. So what can they go? What are some more blue heroes? They actually banned out one of their own blue heroes in the Enigma. Tisk tisk.
Yeah.
But yeah. So I instinctively think that's going to be a Mag Night Stalker. It just seems like the type of hero that he would play. He likes to play not only those blue heroes, but he likes to play them in the offlane. So Spirit Breaker was actually banned out by Cloud9 just because they know how good Mag is in the offlane Spirit Breaker. But yeah, so I don't know. Could be lots of different things.
Those run at you type of heroes coming out for Mag generally.
Yeah. Clockwork.
Yeah.
Spirit Breaker. Maybe Night Stalker.
See, what's their last pickup gonna be? We have to wait around. So wait, I think they see here.
I think it is going to be a Puck mid, by the way. I think Bristleback is better in the offlane because against the Slark, if you do get levels in Bristleback, like if you get level 4 and you haven't died yet, then you're golden. So it's just my presumption. Venomancer are going to be the last pickup here for ASUS.Polar.
Not blue. That's the biggest issue I have. Although Venomancer's solid choice coming out. It certainly wasn't what the hero that I expected. I mean, I was thinking maybe you need a hero that can shut down Anti-Mage more effectively. I don't know if Venomancer is that hero. He does a lot of damage. It's a lot of magical damage, though. With spell resistance coming out from Anti-Mage, it's not necessarily the best. But at the same time, he can hold his own in any lane that he's in. And I think for ASUS.Polar, it's something that probably DK Phobos is comfortable with.
Yeah. I mean, it'll shut down a lot of the heroes outside of Anti-Mage. Actually, even Anti-Mage, if he ever tries to like blink in and get aggressive,
right?
You just throw a Poison Nova, and he has to like blink out defensively after that. So, I guess it's not that bad. Of course, obviously, it doesn't shut him down, doesn't lock him down. And speaking of lockdown, the only real lockdown they have against him is like the Night Stalker silence. The stun can be avoided through a simple blink if you're not in super close melee range with the stun. And even then, the silence isn't that impressive, just because you got to presume if they're going to let him freeform, he's going to get a fast Manta. So they do have problems if this Anti-Mage gets out of control, but they have a much stronger like fighting lineup in the mid game.
They can certainly rotate heroes around like crazy and get kills with no real issues whatsoever. The Night Stalker especially will become a big concern for Cloud9. Again, we talked about it, the nighttime very early on, and knowing that he'll probably have enough farm to work with where it should be okay. And honestly, I'm kind of concerned that Cloud9 can get shut down here pretty early on because, like you talked about, ASUS have such a potent fighting lineup. So they really have to make space for Envy. And I think that's the biggest concern for Cloud9, as Envy is disconnected into the game, and we actually haven't even really started the game yet. We just gotten done with the draft, so.
Yep. So hopefully that's a quick fix. I here see lots of ping, so it looks like they want to try to rush down bottom and maybe ward the camp of the pole camp, which should be dewarded. You look at the supports of ASUS, and I don't think it's imperative that either one of them get boots against a bristleback.
No.
So maybe it's more important to have the sentry, or maybe just save the gold and then see. But if anyone gets boots, it's probably going to be the Venge, but yeah, we'll have to wait and see. But DK Phobos, mid lane, Venomancer against the Puck is relatively even, I suppose. Once you get to like level 5, if he does decide to go for just the wards build, you just start spamming the wards, and then it's really hard to even contest if you're Puck.
Yeah.
I have seen a lot of Venomancers go a lot more recently than not, too, where they actually just max the Gale.
Yeah.
Or they go just Gale and Poison Sting. And it's actually pretty nice, because if you do that, most of the time, one, the mid lane doesn't even expect it, because they're just waiting for your wards. And then two, if you hit level 6 and you hit a Gale, they're dead. At any hero, they're dead. So it's it's kind of fun it's actually more fun to play that way than just mindlessly spamming wards.
Is that more of a support thing, you think, for Venomancers, or even mid-Venos doing that now? Are they transitioning?
No, mid-Venos. I've seen mid-Venos do it just because it's a guaranteed kill if you hit your Gale, onto most heroes, I should say. When you're level 6, especially.
I mean, I'm totally down to see more running at heroes, and I think actually ASUS.Polar could do that. I mean, it's better for DK Phobos if he spams out his wards in the lane, then you can't really contest. I mean, you can't push up the waves as easily for the Puck because, you know, Loose Europe's not going to go through those wards, and still going to have a tough time. But if you go for that, like that fighting build, which is what I think ASUS.Polar want to do, they have a fighting lineup, and then all of a sudden you rotate on the anti-mage, he can't get farm, you shut him down before he even begins to get his Manta style or anything like that. And all of a sudden but the thing is also you're losing in tower pressure because that's the trade-off, I suppose.
Yeah, well, there's a couple of trade-offs. One, tower pressure, and two, it's like he probably won't do it because it's not the safe build. Like if you get shut down, if you're not CSing properly, like if you're not CSing well in mid lane in your Venomancer, like I said, the second you hit level 5, you can just spam wards and you're always going to get CS, or you can transition the jungle and then kind of use it as a backup plan. If you go all out Gale, Poison Sting, there is no backup plan.
Yeah.
You get ganked, you start missing your Gales, you are useless. So that's the reason why most people don't do it, because it's not the safe build, but
yes,
it can. If I would say if you're confident enough in your CSing abilities, you don't need the wards, and then you're free to go that build. But the problem with Venomancer is if you look at this base damage, it's very, very low.
Bad.
It's so really bad, yeah.
But it used to be amazing. That's the thing, man. It used to be so freaking good, and they had to change it. That was a couple of patches ago when Venomancer was picked as a support, and you would just win the game because you couldn't stand up to the right click of a Venomancer. It was impossible to deal with. So I guess I mean, it's fine they nerf his base damage. He's still a solid hero. I'm glad he's still getting picked. But it does feel like we've gotten into this kind of stale meta. Although I will say this game in particular doesn't really have any of those heroes. Maybe Lion, I guess. Other than that, though, I guess Venge too. Like these heroes aren't as standard as some of the other ones we see, like Shadow Fiend, like Troll, like Juggernaut. Although Juggernaut, Juggernaut's still pretty good, and then Axe as well. But for this game, like you don't see Puck as often. Nightstalk you never see. Venomancer you don't really see that often. Visage is kind of hit or miss. Anti-Mage is picked occasionally. I'm a fan of both of these drafts, but again, when it comes down to sheer fighting and actually enjoyment of watching the match, ASUS.Polar, they win in my mind.
It's funny because I look at both drafts and if I see ASUS.Polar's draft, if there's any other team that drafted this, I would say the draft looks really weak, and I don't know what they're going to do in the late game, yada yada yada. But yeah, they seem to make all these quirky lineups work, so I will never second guess them. They always seem to make it work somehow. FNG always has a plan. Ever since we saw the farming tree, man, I've just been a big fan. And with the stat right here, since we are in a pause, Illidan's 16-4 on Slark. So yeah, this is definitely one of his better heroes.
16-4. We saw some ridiculous stats, and that is right up there. 4 losses, though. I mean, there is the chance that C9 they can take this easily, but still, I mean, like Illidan Slark. That's rough. Also, apparently somebody's dying. He's vomiting, apparently.
Vomiting, I guess.
Somebody had a rough night last night. Who knows? Or he might actually be sick, and I might be diminishing his illness, and I don't want to do that. Thoughts to Fata, please don't die. Like, yeah, that's rough, man. That is really rough. I don't know how you play a Dota game in that situation.
Wait, so Pimp, is it Pimp Muko or Muckle?
Alright, I'm gonna unmute now. So, first of all, I just want to say, if you vomit on 7 p.m. and you, like, because of partying, like, holy shit, that was a good party, I gotta tell you this one. So, I'm just saying, I think, you know, there might be some sickness involved. And,
Yeah.
as for the name, it comes from the German Pumucke, so it's actually Pimpmucke. And no one from NA gets it. Perfect, man. You are the man. You are absolutely amazing.
I'm trying to actually relearn my German, man. Do you know how many hours I spent last night trying to, like, you know, brush myself up or get myself up to speed on German?
Oh man, it's so hard though. I have
It's
no
not
idea
that
why
bad,
anyone does it.
actually.
How is it not bad? You have
Like I can, okay.
you have
I
daddy
took
dust.
4 years in high school. I took
Alright.
4 years in high school, and then so like when I see all the words on paper or written out, I know what all the words mean. I just don't put them in the right order. So like when I write them, I'm like thinking of an English sentence structure rather than what's correct in German.
Yeah, that sounds okay.
We were talking about this yesterday also. The fact that you have 3 different types of the, like, that also
Pronouns.
yeah, it's just everything. God, sentence structure also was a big issue.
It also makes no
God.
sense. That's the biggest issue.
Yeah. So
You
I mean, the
took
words
Spanish?
are somewhat similar, though. I feel
No,
like.
I didn't.
Mott, you took Spanish?
No, I took German.
Oh, you took German too?
Yeah, but
Damn.
okay. So I went to Germany for like a month, and I barely spoke a word of it because everyone else spoke English there. I'm like,
Exactly.
what's the incentive of me speaking German, like, at all, ever? And so
Dude.
after that, our teacher knew that we had no reason. Like, we told her, like, Frau, like, there's no absolute reason for us to learn German at all because
Frau.
everyone speaks English. Well, she made us call us that. So, I don't know.
Yeah, no, I remember going on a flight to Germany, and this is when my German was really bad, and I was trying to ask the stewardess for a beer, and I think I said, I was really second guessing myself. I don't know what the correct way, Pimuko, it would be like, darf ich ein Bier haben bitte? Something like that.
Yeah,
Nice.
it's okay.
Yeah, I see. I know the order's probably bad, but
No,
I
it's
said it
actually
really, I said it really badly, and I said it so badly. Then she said something back to me in German, but I had no idea, and so I was like kind of just sitting there, and then she just started talking to me in English because she knows I'm an idiot.
I had that similar type of experience, although it was in the Netherlands. I was like trying to order, like, no, it might have actually been in German. I was trying to order like French fries, which is pommes frites or something like that. And she's like, "Oh, you mean French fries?" I'm like, "Ah, jeez, god damn it."
Aww.
Wait,
it's
you
so
said French?
disheartening.
I think I might.
I thought the French were like really kind of stuck up about their language and like they don't like speaking English. That's my brother lived in France for years and he told me that they
don't
didn't like to speak
They
English.
really don't.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've been to French like quite some time, like on holidays and stuff. And if you even try just just a tiny bit of French, and you're like butchering it really hardcore, and they're still like, yeah, it's ça marche, alors ah, la la la, and everyone's gonna be kind of happy, and but if you try English, dude, they're not gonna be happy. I mean
man.
the students and stuff, like the younger people, of course, but
Yeah.
oh yeah.
Hey man, we don't trash other people when they try to speak English and it's their second language. I don't know, man.
In NEO we do. Trust me.
Yeah, okay, well that's fair.
And yeah, that's so good. Oh man, I had so much.
All right.
Anyhow.
Fata, what's up, man?
Ilden
What's
said
going
truant fata, speaking of NEO.
Hey, at least you don't have to worry about ghosting because no words have been placed yet.
That's true.
Oh man, I just want to quickly say something. People are like, man, Pim, come on, just do some overlay over the minimap when there is a pause. Alright, hold on. You have 2 minutes of stream delay where you can ghost freely, because the players see the pause 2 minutes before you do. Now think again if this is actually a good idea. I'm just putting this out there. And I could rant about this, like, oh man. I've no idea what Reddit's sometimes thinking.
You're getting heated, man. I understand.
Dude, what the fuck? Why would anyone suppose that hiding the minimap in a pause is a good idea? You have to hide it in the whole game. Do I do a broadcast and hiding the minimap whole game? No, I do not.
Rant status. I feel you, man. Trust me, I feel you.
Okay.
There's just let me tell you that we are with you. You don't need to worry about it. We got your back, buddy.
Oh man.
Fata is apparently he might actually just be dead. Who knows?
Oh my god.
I mean, I really hope he's doing okay. Honestly, like I really feel bad for him that he used to play on some super sickness. Apparently, like because if you're trying to do I mean I know I'm pretty sure all of you have been somewhat like this sick before, and if you've ever tried to do anything in that situation, it's impossible or very, very difficult. So playing a Dota game to me seems almost ridiculously impossible.
When I came back from D2L, there was a number of us, myself included, that were so sick. Like, it was one of the sickest I've been in years. I think I got the swine flu actually in college when that was a thing.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was I almost let that slip. I was dying, but this is the worst it was been, and I couldn't play Dota at all. Like, it was just couldn't even like barely see. It was awful, but.
Yeah,
maybe they need to look for a ringer or something.
A fellow swine fluer. Nice.
Good.
I had it in college as well. So.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, it was not a fun time. They quarantined me. They're like, you need to go home. I'm like, all right, see you later, I guess.
Alright, enjoy the game, boys. I'm muted.
All right. So Fata looks like he's finally back. Hasn't really said anything though, and maybe he is sick because he bought a Clarity and he bought.
That is not the right item, I think, this situation.
No, it's just funny. A friend of mine always makes fun of people who buy Clarities at the start, but there he's gonna get some pool there from Misery, who bought boots, walking down bottom to secure a ward place. Remember, they did ping out right here at the very beginning, like they wanted to ward that camp. And let's check and see if they bought boots on one of the supports. No, they actually maybe you're saving for sentries on Lil. Nope, he actually bought a Ring of Protection.
The FNJ is 165 gold, so if he wants to buy sentries, he'll have to wait a bit, but then he can go for them.
That's fine, yeah.
And exactly where they pinged it, exactly where you talked about, they do wards, so no surprise there. And then they ward this medium camp as well, so they ward both pole camps. Well, the pole and the pole through.
That's some hate.
Yeah.
And you know the only annoying thing about waiting on your gold for sentries is that by the time you wait for the gold, or maybe they'll give him the bounty, I don't know, but the courier is so damn slow, if it doesn't get there in time, you don't counter it before 1 minute, you're going to have to wait a full extra minute after that, so we'll see if they can get that quick enough.
Might keep the bounty rune. No, they're going to give it to Mag, I think. Or Phobos?
Probably Phobos.
Phobos, yeah, that makes sense.
Oh,
now we have an ASUS pause. Oh, no. Please tell me somebody is not also sick on the side of ASUS.Polar. It's a strategy pause. All right. Well,
nice.
I guess we're good. Well, I don't know what happened, but time stood still for a moment there, and now we're back into the game as Zildjian heading down to the bottom lane. And this is it's interesting because if you look at it right now, Cloud9 are going for dual lanes. They're gonna have no tail down bottom as the Zeus, and then up at the top lane you're gonna have EE and Misery playing together. And it's actually gets to dual lane as well coming up from ASUS.Polar. So dual lanes abound. And the solo matchup, obviously, in that mid lane versus Fata and DK Phobos.
Yeah, I'm wondering how they play this up for Cloud9. I've seen dual lane Zeus's. Yeah, exactly. I was just going to say, I feel like the best way to play this out if you're Zeus in an off lane is to just spam as much as possible. And that's exactly what he's doing. So I think that's the right way to play that. And then as far as top, Vengeful Spirit in a dual lane is actually quite good. This support here for Misery's line's not that bad, but, you know, I don't think Anti-Mage has that much to offer in terms of right-click.
No. I mean, even 1 point mana break's good, but it's still not enough. He needs some levels. And he's not going to get really any CS, at least early on here. And that is one way to shut down the Anti-Mage. And we talked about it for ASUS.Polar. In order for this game to be successful, they have to kind of run at C9, shut down the Anti-Mage, and have a really dominant early to mid game. And that seems to be what they're going for right now. Misery. He'll try to continue to pull, but it's already being contested, and you can't really try to fight into that. Mag's too much of a tanky bad boy, and he'll continue to get CS, and he's going to get our respect, but he's fine. Meanwhile, mid lane, DK Phobos, he will go for the Plague Wards build. 2 points in those, and then obviously gets the Poison Sting as well. But Fats is doing a very nice job. Despite being sick, he's got 10 CS.
Yeah, some of those might be from the wards that are relatively easy to kill until level 3, but... Or I should say until you are level 5. Trying to deny one, then get it, doesn't matter. FNG got actually some good CS. He got one of the big centaurs and something. And bottom engagement, yep, Bone 7 in a little bit of trouble. He does have level 1 Bristleback, but there's the nuke from Lil. One more auto attack and Bone 7 dies.
Did Lil hit that? I think he hit that soul assumption when he was facing him, when the Bristleback was facing Lil. So that's how most of that damage went, I believe, and the damage reduction not being there. And that, you know, inherently tanky hero, only with level 1 Bristleback, it's just not enough to stay alive. And also, Illidan had like 5 or 6 Essence Shift stacks. Misery and FNG going toe-to-toe. The Void is up in the top lane. The right-click, the Earth Spike might save him. Mag so close to getting the kill. And he won't have the mana for the Void. Their movement speed is just a bit better for Mag. He should catch up Misery. He's going to tango up, but he will get Magic Missiled. And that was rough. That was very rough for Lion, and Misery will go down in the end.
I think he could have just kept running over the trees to the left, but he tried to like juke by eating through the trees, and then it messed up his pathing. So it was kind of a weird situation, but I think the smarter choice would have been to just keep running alongside the tree line and not use any kind of tree shenanigans. So nice kill there by ASUS yet again in the top lane this time. Illidan taking a lot of harassment, and then I'm wondering if Lil goes... He's probably going to go back bottom and help him out.
Illidan has no regen. He's nowhere near level 6 either. Lil has like a tango he can give him. Illidan, I think, ferried out a salve. Yes, absolutely. And so he's not having the best lane either. And actually, Anti-Mage is up to 14 last hits all of a sudden. And he's like, I want Mag. I want some right-click as well. He's just mana burning the crap out of him. And he continues to get plenty of farm. In fact, they have the top 3 CS now for Cloud9. As good as it is to get off that 2-0 start, you need to keep pace with some of the farmers for Cloud9 if you are ASUS.Polar. They're going to look for Bone 7 bottom lane. Illidan's going to try to right-click him once or twice. He is going to go for the pounce, actually. Soul Assumption stacks now coming up. There's the Grave Chill, the body block going in. Do they have the damage? It's going to be close. Bone 7 last right-click. We'll get the kill for a little rotation from No-Tail. Another Soul Assumption. Lil now out of mana. No stick charges, and it's on cooldown as well. So big kill bottom again. That does help out.
Yeah, very nicely done. So they're not getting the most CS, but they're getting the kills on the heroes when they need to. And then now it's just hit nighttime. Venge is actually walking towards mid to maybe get a kill onto Fata, which is kind of hard. Oh, he has an invis. Okay, maybe he can do this. If he orbs forward, there is a chance they get this kill. Maybe he goes all the way bottom, and yeah, he's actually just going to forgo that plan and go all the way bottom.
And they kind of have to just say, okay, we're resigned to the fact that Anti-Mage is going to get some farm up at the top lane. That's fine, but we need to secure farm for Illidan. We know what he can do in a game if he's able to get CS and kills. He's got the kills. He needs the CS. Maybe they could get some more kills, though, with FNG rotating in. No-Tail might get spotted out. I think they might have seen him. They're going to ping. No-Tail is in trouble. Magic Missile is about to go. It will. Pounce is up as well.
Here
Dark
comes
Pack
Fata.
might fly. And Fata is rotating in. The TP coming through from another hero as well. Dream Coil. That'll be on to 3. Illusory Waning Rift. Fata, doesn't matter how sick he is. He gets the double kill. He might be puking all over his keyboard, but he doesn't care. That's easy kills for Fata down in that bottom lane.
Yeah, they just took too long by killing that hero. It needed to be just an immediate kill and then immediate disengage, but Zeus was actually relatively tanky. He had full HP. I think he had a bottle on him too, so he was spamming it. And just took him too long. Very nice rotation from Fata. And if you saw that, the second that Slark was kind of walking aggressively around the trees, they didn't even know that... I don't even think they revealed the fact that Venge was invis at that point. But the second he saw that, he TP'd down there. It was just a really nice, quick rotation from Fata.
Yeah. Keeping his eyes on the minimap and making sure that he's available. Having that TP early on also is very, very important, as that did later. So, really solidly done for Fata. Top lane, Anti-Mage up to 29 CS. So, he was off to a rough start, but now he has the Coin Blade. He has the Ring of Health to stay in lane a bit better. And I mean, ASUS.Polar, the rotating lanes, they can't seem to find anything. And Illidan's still looking for a decent amount of CS. 17 is not bad, but in comparison to, I guess, the Anti-Mage, I suppose it is, who's at 33. And Bone 7 crushing this lane at 24 now.
Yeah, this is a good lane for him. Like, he's and now especially that he's getting more levels in the Cool Spray, and especially once he gets more levels in the Bristleback, it's going to be very, very hard to take him down without taking tons of damage yourself. And honestly, one of the better killers that they have is the Venomancer, but doesn't have a point in a kill yet. Top lane.
Silence on the E, but he mans up. There is heroes rotating in. Mag, mana burned, mana drain. He's still under the tower. And actually, there were 3 heroes rotating in, and they say, I guess we don't go for the kill. We silenced him, we avoided him, but we're not going to try to kill him. Misery down bottom, looking for the kill on Illidan. He's able to get away. He does have Shadow Dance, though, so he'll be able to regen up. Phobos does get uses of the Dream Coil. Right click, there's the Lightning Bolt. Killing spree for Fata with a big haste rune as well. Bottom lane, Illidan chasing after Misery. Can't find the kill, though. Can't find the pounce, I don't believe. And it's 4-4 all of a sudden. It's even in terms of kills.
Yeah, and the Venomancer hasn't really pressured mid all that much. Even with Fata leaving, he only got it down to about, I'd say, took off 1/3 of its HP, which isn't a lot. So yeah, I don't know. I don't feel like they're getting the most out of the map right now. It's the first nighttime. They still haven't really got anything done with Mag other than that first kill. up in the top lane. So, not quite sure. And Slark has already died once, doesn't have the most CS. I do fear for them a little bit. They're going to try to put some pressure, and yeah, EE will blink away. Mid lane.
FNG salves up. He says, I'm getting harassed. I don't want to deal with this. Fox is too scary. Bottom lane, Bone 7 and Illidan. This is going to be very hard for Illidan. I mean, 3 Quill Spray stacks. If he takes a couple more, he'll be down below half health. And the crazy thing is also he has Viscous Dazugu as well, so he forgoes that second point of Bristleback. Not as tanky, but a lot more killing potential for Bone 7. However, they are going to try to find him out. Pounce is going to go. The Dark Pack's about to fly. Now the Shadow Dance going as well. Bone 7 in trouble. Soul Assumption. The Quill Sprays, they've got to back away. Zeusalt's going to go. Lil is so low. Soul Assumption. Oh, he turned his face towards Lil, and it got hit right in the face. Blew him up. Lil says, thank you for the easy kill with that Soul Assumption, but oh, they were very close to death there. A lot closer than maybe they anticipated.
Does he live? Does he live if he didn't turn around right there?
It's close, I think.
Huh, okay. Very interesting. So, yeah, Illidan actually, as we pointed out, he's actually putting more points into the Essence shift. So, I don't know if that's for either just... It has to be for the more duration, just because that's the only thing that scales. Doesn't want the extra damage from the Dark Pact or the Pounce, just wants more stats, I suppose. Very interesting, because I feel like the Dark Pact is such a good farming tool into the jungle if you're getting shut down, but... I won't question Illidan, man. This guy knows how to play Slark.
Yeah, that's true. Top lane, Bone 7 taking a little bit more harass than maybe anticipated. The Fatsa Midas from Puck. That is one way to get items, is to build a Midas, so I suppose that might be the right choice. Mag getting harassed in the mid lane by Fatsa, and... Well, as it stands right now, it looks like Cloud9 do have a pretty slight advantage here with 1,500 net worth. And they are looking to give AM just a bit more farm. He does pick up his treads now, so he will forego the early Battle Fury. And it'll be a bit late, but I mean, nobody in this game is getting CS. Nobody. I mean, the highest CS in this game is 53 for DK Phobos. But we have a rotation in from everybody. Smoke up the seat. FNG backing away. He's too fast. No Tail doesn't have boots, and he's the one that was walking in front for whatever reason.
Yeah, he's got Soul Ring, but no boots. That's kind of interesting. So he does have a good mana sustain, but yeah, I was gonna say one thing about the the Puck Midas. I'm not a fan of this. I think if he just rushed a blink, it would apply a lot of pressure and a lot of. Oh, they're actually putting a silence onto Fata, and here comes the darkness.
Dream
Can't get this
Coil.
done.
Loose Europe. He almost could kill FNG if he wanted to. Yeah, he can. There's Zeuso coming out. Now another Void. Mag coming through. Now he sees the Visage Birds, and he's going to get dropped on. Silence as well. Mystery coming in. He does get the Earth Spike off. Do they have to Loose Europe? Still silenced up. Now it goes. Vata's dominating. Can he phase shift? Yes, the Soul Assumption not there for Lil. So damn close. A slippery mother coming out for this Puck player, and, well, he's just been putting on work, honestly.
I mean, that was a really awkward gank that Venge was just not in the vicinity, and he actually has an invis. If they can get a stun onto Misery, no, he's not going to even try for it. Maybe here are the TP mid and just wanted to get out, but... Yeah, Venge wasn't close enough to get the stun during the silence duration of the Night Stalker. And since it's only level 1, it only lasts for 5 seconds at night. Now it's daytime, actually. It will be nighttime in about a minute or so, just because he did use Darkness once, but... Yeah, they're not coordinating the ganks as well. Even that gank that actually worked onto Bristleback not too long ago was very, very close.
Yeah. Well, speaking of ganks
one.
on a Bristleback, he is taking a lot of damage. Shadow Dance is going to go. The Essence Shift stealing a lot of stacks, up to 6 stacks, and duration's a bit longer. Dark Pact about to go, and Bone 7 will fall. Illidan getting very low as well to the Quill Sprays. If they had Zeus ult, that would be a sure kill, but he is going to pounce the TP out. Lucy Orb just missing. They might have seen him TP away, but Fozza can't get there in time. It said he will take the bottom CS, so...
He had Coil in 2 seconds, too. That would have been really, really close. Yeah, no Zeus ulti. Zeus ulti cools down. Puck's ulti cools down, and I was going to ridicule the Midas a little bit, but he's already so close to a blink. He needs to get away before the silence comes out, and it looks like he will. Doesn't have TP for a long time, though.
Oh, these birds are crushing him. He is in trouble. He has to Loose Europe up. No, they swap him out the Magic Missile. Fata in trouble. Loose Europe, getting Waiting Rift. He doesn't go for the kill. He already used it. And FNG actually secured the kill. Zeus ult, though, gets the return. They're going to wrap on DK Phobos, by the way. Misery smoking up. Earthspike's going to go blink it for the AM, and EE will get the kill with the Mana Void coming through. And so they lose the Puck down bottom, who was close to that Blink Dagger, but They secure 2 kills across the map, 1 top, 1 bottom. Now bottom again. Bone7 caught out once more. He's got 4 deaths, surprisingly enough. Bone7 doesn't want to be feed 7. Getting caught, pounced up, and he's in trouble. Cool sprays need to go. They can't secure the kill. Mag gets it done on to Bone7. He was so close to getting a couple more cool sprays off and getting both of those, but just couldn't get there.
Yeah, they're really putting the pressure onto him, and he's not so tanky until he gets that Vanguard. But he was on a good route to it. Like they were winning the lane. They prioritized that bottom lane. He's good against Slark in lane, but now they're just putting too much pressure on him. He doesn't have vision of the enemy heroes, and he's not getting help fast enough. The one time we did see a fast rotation from Fata, it was amazing, right? They responded very quickly and they easily got counter kills. But the last subsequent times, last 2 or 3 times they ganked him, he just hasn't really got enough help. And if he did, it was just way too late.
Yeah. Look at this smoke of deceit gank from Mag and Will, though. They know they have to keep putting pressure, and it's nighttime, and they're going to find Oatsail. I mean, he's not the highest value target, but he certainly will not survive. The Dream Coil is going to come through. Fata is still alone again. Now he gets stunned up. Buyback from Zeus. He can Zeus ult, but Fata falls once more. Now the figure comes out the Earth Spike. They will get the little kill, but Misery might be run out by Mag here. Arc Lightning. Zeus ult now finally goes Misery. Mana Void goes trying to stop the aggression, but now they have Bone7 running in as well. They're rotating every hero from Cloud9 to stop Mag, who's on a roll. He is going to get right-clicked out by EE more than likely, and yeah, he will get killed. But still, the buyback forced out by the Zeus. Fatsa going down again, who should have had his blink at this point in time because of how close he was. And also the Tier 1 tower top lane getting obliterated by Phobos and FNG, and they'll take this Tier 1 as well.
Yeah, Lil's playing the Visage very nicely. Like, all of his bird stomps have been on point. One of them that went on to Bristleback down bottom. I can't believe it actually hit. I was going to comment on it, but things were still happening. So it's just been on point with his bird play, on point with his soul assumptions when he's needed to. He has his Tranquils plus a medallion, so lots of negative armor with that physical damage from both Slark and his birds. So, and yep, DK Phobos, this is exactly how Venomancer is played, man. You feed a lot, but you get a lot of items, and you have a lot of AoE damage despite the fact that you're just, like, fodder for the enemy team.
Yeah, DK Phobos, honestly, like, your main goal in a fight for Venomancer is to get your ultimate off, maybe a Gale, and then just die. That is. And
throw down wards. Just
yeah, I like a couple wards. Yeah, yep. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Well, we'll see how it turns out. EE is being shadowed top lane, getting closer and closer to his battlefield, but birds up top. They have Phobos, they have FNG. Might be in some trouble. Magic Missile. Oh boy, is he in some trouble? Will he buy? He did get his broadsword. He actually just blinks away. Still does get poison over it, but however, he will TP out and he will survive. So that was a good try on the gank, but just not there coming out from ASUS.Polar. And they are putting a lot of aggression up at the top lane. The top jungle is theirs. They are the kings of the jungle at this point. Mag backing up, going for an Aghanim Scepter, by the way, so he could have lots of vision during the nighttime.
Yeah, it's okay even though they didn't kill him. Obviously, they want to kill him, but they have stifled his farm a little bit. There's a defensive ulti coming out, I think, or a scouting ulti from Zeus.
Yes.
And he's searching for someone. He actually bolts behind his tower to see if there's a ward there, but it's not going to find it. Fata, he's still very close to his blink. And I suppose my point still stands that I think maybe a faster blink. You know, you imagine the blink is just about as much gold as the Midas is, a little bit more. But when he bought the Midas, I think, what, 6 minutes ago now? Something like that?
I think so.
I just think he could have had a blink this whole time, and now he actually orbs
Buy
back
blink?
into... Oh, he did buy his blink, though. Thank God for that.
Yeah, he'll die, but blink now done, and he'll be able to move around a bit more freely. But the silence has been crushing him, honestly.
Yeah, it's really good for Puck.
The Night Stalker is a pretty hard counter to the Puck in this situation. You're not going to be able to jaunt out. You're not going to be able to phase shift. The only thing you have at your disposal is blink, assuming you don't take any damage. So very difficult, especially at nighttime, as the Night Stalker has been really all over him. Bone7 took an Ancient Stack, picked up a Vanguard, probably turns this into a Crimson Guard at some point, which is not a bad item this game. Or he could just keep it as a Vanguard. They still have the top 3 in net worth, despite getting run at a lot. But they had a lead for Cloud9. It's now actually in favor of ASUS.Polar, and in favor is 500, which is pretty much nothing, but still. It's a very, very close game. Again, we talked about it, though. Cloud9 are still in a situation where Anti-Mage is going to be able to take over this game late, probably.
Well, he's going to have a relatively slow Battle Fury. It's already 17 minutes and he doesn't have it completed. But obviously he was under some pressure. They push his tower. There's bottom lane. And they do blow up the Storm Rage. That is the Slark player.
There was a Slark there. I don't know what happened. He got a. I mean, they threw a lot of lightning abilities at him. They fingered him. They Zeus ulted him. He just got fried. And Bone 7 in the top lane. He's just trying to stay safe. Will does have.
Yeah, I think FNG was gonna try to build a medallion, but now he's just gonna turn it into like maybe a mech or a late mech or something. Obviously, the Visage already had a medallion, so he actually wards above the tower here, trying to get some vision. He will spot out some of these heroes, but yeah, he's playing a little bit cool here until they run away.
Envy's Battle Fury very close, but still, like we said, it is going to be late. 18-ish minutes. Not the fastest Battle Fury treads, but it's been a rough game for, I think, all the heroes in terms of CSing, like we've talked about already. What about, let's see, Illidan has a Midas now, so he's picked that up not too long ago, actually. But he will start increasing his farm. But I don't know if you can ever really keep pace as a Slark against an aim with a Battle Fury unless you're getting kills left and right, which is very difficult this game because of the Bristleback, obviously the slipperiness of the puck, but still they do have the Night Stalker. I don't know, this Midas pickup might be the only option they have, though.
I think this is in response to the puck Midas, more so than in response to I want to outfarm the AM. Just because puck has been a little bit more greedy, it gives Illidan a little bit more room to be greedy as well. Ulti coming out, is this another scouting ulti? I think it was, and they are smoked so they know it, because they didn't take damage and they didn't see the heroes on the map.
I think Cloud9 know that they're also up top, they were pinging up there as well.
Yeah.
And so they're going to walk bottom, and then Envy, he's so good at just taking the enemy's jungle over. I mean, it's like, it's kind of greedy to a certain extent because if he gets caught out, I mean, he could die very easily, which might actually happen here. Yeah, they know he is here. Instead, they're going to chase after Misery instead. He might get chased out. Fata actually jaunting away. There's the Hex up for Misery. He's going to try to TP away. He might make it void. It's just that TP's not in time, man. Just not a long enough duration on the Hex or the Earth Spike. And Wave of Terror, blink out coming from Fata. Will survive. He blinks across the river. All right.
I think what did he do? Yeah, he hexed first and then stun TP'd.
Yes.
But if you see that his hex duration is actually, even level 2 is longer of a duration than the Earth Spike, so he just didn't have in his plan, or in his mind what his plan was fast enough, because if he just hex TP, I think he gets out actually.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was close. He didn't know that who else was around. He couldn't really plan on what was going to go, what was going to go down, so. And then I hear the tower fall? Oh, they denied a tower mid. Okay.
Mid, yeah. Will denies it with, I think, his birds. And so EE continues to farm at the top lane. What about Phobos? He has that Aghanim Scepter and level 2 ultimate now as well. EE has to blink away. He doesn't want to take an axe to the face. And Mag was actually rotating up, so smart blink from EE, although he's just going to head down bottom again, probably. Bone 7 took a huge Ancient stack, by the way, which gets him up to 2,000 gold plus the Ogre Club.
Wow.
So, 1,300.
Jeez, that must have been huge.
It was pretty big.
I actually want to check the gold graph and see if it's reflected.
So Salt goes. They see Bone 7 might be in some trouble here. He's got level 4 Bristleback now. Gets silenced up. Magic Missile's going to go. And now the Familiar stuns as well. Waiting Rift, Dream Coil. Good counter initiation. They were under the shadow of the Tier 2 tower. I'm not sure about that fight. Bone 7 still alive. Misery wants to walk in. FNG getting hit up. He has a double damage rune. You're spike the finger. The right click. He was at 20 HP. He will fall. Somehow it's the only one that is a casualty in that situation, but Bone 7 survives. That's the most important thing. And he's going for the SNY, which he's very close to.
Yeah, that was an awkward play. Of all the heroes that they went on the Bristleback. They just didn't have the damage to do so. If it was somewhere else, then maybe, but yeah, like you said, right in the face of a Tier 2 tower, where they can easily rotate. I'm surprised, like you said, more people didn't die. Because that was a really nice blink coil silence, so. Envy, he's actually really close to his Yasha. Once he gets the Manta, it's really going to actually increase his farming capabilities, because then he can farm more aggressively, even though he is farming aggressively right now, but it means that he can't get shut down by the silence of the Night Stalker, which is the biggest thing here.
He's going Vlad instead. He's going for that split push, and I guess some extra armor coming through as well.
Okay. I find that a little interesting, but we'll see. Increases his damage and armor, and obviously the HP regen with the lifesteal. But I thought he would, like, for instance, when I've seen like Illidan or someone else play anti-mage against a hero that has a very top lane, they actually put the Gale onto him. I don't think they kill him. Maybe they just annoy him here.
That's all they did was annoy him.
But when there's a hard silence or stun or something that... Oh, actually Fata taking a ton of damage, but he should be fine.
John's way actually got the Waning Rift off before Johnson. That was a really solid play.
Zeus ults again.
Yeah, No-Till has not been shy about throwing his ultimate out.
Yeah, not at all. I'm wondering why he actually threw that one out, but more scouting purposes, I guess. Yeah, here comes the Lothars. He wants to just get the tier 1 tower, and he...
Oh,
no,
that glyph timing, though. They knew. The TP coming in for Bone 7 as well, and they actually deny the tower. I thought for sure that was dead and was going to the enemy team. But EE's also not going to get the tower down bottom. Phobos is going to come in. EE might blink and just go for it. Or just go for it in general. Gets denied anyways. Phobos, however, Mana Void's going to go Elusive Orb. They get the right click. EE gets the kill. FNG was maybe getting scouted out, but he should be okay. He'll walk away. TP back to the tier 1 tower for EE. He's like, I'd rather just take a quick trip back. They blink into Roche, and they have Lads. They could do this easily now.
Yeah. Easily. Like, the biggest team fight ability from ASUS is now dead. So I don't think they can contest this. And that's definitely not worth it if you're the Venomancer. Like, yeah, that was a nice, cheeky little deny, but it doesn't really provide that much gold like it used to anyway. It's a tier 1 tower.
Yeah.
And you feeding your life away to 2 heroes by is going to feed more experience and gold than they could gain from just getting that one tier 1 tower.
Oh, EE almost got 2 of those Visage Birds. Instead, he only picks up the 1. Double Yule's coming out, by the way. Flotsam picked up his. So nice timing, despite what happened earlier on in the game, but better timing for Lil, who has Medallion, and Bristleback will pick up the Aegis, who also have his S and Y. So now it means, I think, if you're Cloud9, you can run at people or you can farm more. Illidan? Zeus Ult, they know he's there. Beautiful Zeus Ult coming out. The detection coming through the Earth Spike as well. They don't have any more vision now. They do. Lightning Bolt comes in. They need more Quill Sprays. He's going to stick up. He'll stay around. And actually, Dark Pack's off that Dream Coil, but it doesn't matter. He goes down anyways. And that's still a very big pickup because that's your core. That's your hard farming hero for ASUS.Polar. That's a big kill coming out for Cloud9.
The Aces are not the greatest spot. Here comes the Yule's combo with the bird stun. I've never seen this before. I don't know if that's like the meaning behind the Yule's on Visage. I think it's just... I think he bought it just because Yule's is just an overall... what's considered to be in the pro scene an overpowered item. And anyone can get it at this point, really. So, he has that, and yeah, I'm very fearful of Asus. They put a stun onto Envy. He has... there's the Poison Nova, but he has a... oh! Okay, nice swap. Oh, there we go!
Oh my.
That's gonna stop the haste.
He's dead.
Yule's, man. I'm telling you, this item.
Pretty good item coming out for ASUS.Polar. That's, Envy was like... and again, we talked about it. How many times has he done this where he'll go to the enemy jungle, he'll farm, and ASUS.Polar will be like, yeah, he's in our jungle, let's just kill him quickly. And he almost got away because he's an anti-mage after all, but just a bit too greedy. Bone 7 go for the tier 1 tower top lane. There is a glyph available. They'll use it. Illidan TPing in. Not sure if Bone 7 saw this. Meanwhile, on the backside, Mad coming in. There's the pounce out of Bone 7. He has the Aegis, by the way. Familiar stun coming out. Close Spray's doing work. Gale's gonna hit. Waning Rift goes, but Phobos avoids it. Doesn't have the ultimate, however. Jump back up to the high ground. No-Tail coming in with the Lightning Bolt. Zeus Ult comes out. And they get the Aegis, but they're all so low for ASUS.Polar. The finger blows up a hero. That'll be the Venomancer. FNG, he's going to get jaunted on. The right click's going to come through. He's going to get slowed down. He'll die. The Plague Ward's No-Till has to leave. 2 for 1 trade. Well, 2 for nothing, except for the Aegis coming out. And now Cloud9 head right back towards mid. Bone 7 actually going up to the high ground. He's not afraid of anything.
Fata?
Is Fata dead? Face shifts the Dark Pact. He's going to Elusive Orb wrong way. He can actually blink out, though. He should be fine. And he has Yules.
Yeah, it was a nice idea by Asus. They were like saying, okay, Anti-Mage is dead. He can't buy. He probably won't buy back, even if he did have it. We're going to have our Venomancer coming up. We can defend top lane and fight even with the Aegis. The only problem is that the Venomancer didn't have his ulti. He already used his ulti on the Anti-Mage. Had he had his ulti actually there, I think they actually win that fight, but they just didn't have that extra damage that the Venomancer provides.
The Veno went down quickly. Destroyed by fingers. Ultimate being down was a big issue. He is going to go BKB. He's sick of getting obliterated like that, and that's fair. He's sick of being fodder, as most Venomancers are, but it's just, it feels again like Cloud9, even with like Envy going down, they also have Bone 7 who can almost carry the game just as hard, I feel like, in this situation.
Yep, Ag Scepter, we didn't really talk about this, but Illidan, top. In some trouble. He's probably dead. We'll
Good
see.
Shadow Dance, and pounce away, and into the tree line. EE blinks into the trees. Lightning Bolt misses. He's Shadow Bladed. They might know he's around here. He's going to walk back in. There's a gem on Misery. They have to be careful. Bone 7 bottom lane going into Mag. Fata came through as well. Fata is going to get silenced, but Bone 7 going to work. Magic Missile coming in. Bone 7, he might get FNG. Swap's available, but I mean, he's not going to use it. Top lane, Lul got the Zeus. Bone 7 gets another one. EE gets the kill on the Visage. What else is happening up here? Familiar Stun, that's it. When the Carnage is all said and done, it's a 3 for 2 apparently. That's crazy.
Two different engagements going on. I was watching the top one, but they did use the finger. They did secure the kill on the Visage. He still has his birds, I believe. Oh, he's got one flying around, so that's good for him. But Illidan did live, and he's up to level 16 now. Checking the net worth, he's not... Okay, he's like 3,000 behind the anti-mage, which actually isn't that bad. It's just the fact that there's 3 members of Cloud9 that are very, very farmed. And that's the biggest problem. It's not so much this huge anti-mage problem, because they definitely have the means to kill him. Like, they definitely have the damage. It's just the fact that, one, Bristleback is so tanky, and that a lot of members on Cloud9 are all farmed.
It's going to be more so the combo of the Bristleback anti-mage than anything else. And eventually, anti-mage will just be able to take the game over altogether at probably about 40 minutes-ish. I mean, he's at 14,000 net worth. He just picked up his Manta, and he's already back up to 1,500 in gold. Fata is sitting on 2,400. We'll see if he goes for, say, something like a Hex, or... And there's no Midas to pick up. He already has it. I think Hex might be the best choice. There's other options. See, I might go bots. We'll see, because he only has Butsu speed right now.
Yeah, I think he always likes to go Dagon, but he usually rushes it like after a blink, so not sure if it will be Dagon. Hex seems like the obvious choice to me, but here comes this 3-man smoke. Envy is still trying to pressure him to split push top, while the other members of Cloud9 are going to try to push. If this gets broken, though, I think ASUS want to fight outside of where the anti-mage is. Because they can't really gank him effectively, but they can team fight. DK Phobos in some trouble. Can't get the ulti off. He gets hexed immediately, and he will fall. Not a good start to this engagement if ASUS.Polar want to fight.
And DK Phobos is like, God damn it, just don't kill me. I want to survive. Where's my team? They're all top lane. They can't find anything. And, well, that was really a solid play coming out from Cloud9 with that Smoke of Deceit. Like you said, they would want to fight if they were ASUS.Polar, but they were not together, and it's just this easy pick coming up for Cloud9. And they continue to farm up, they continue to take the enemy jungle, and they're putting a lot of pressure on the map. I do want to ask, Bone 7 is going for this ultimate orb. What is this item that he's grabbing next?
The ulti orb?
Yeah.
Maybe a Lincoln's? I mean, I guess it could be a sheep, but I don't know, we'll see.
Fata's getting maybe caught out. He has Blink. He does get away. Yule Scepter's up as well. Illusory Orb about to go swap out. The Jaunt goes through. Magic Missile. He phase shifts it. Are you kidding? Dream Coil onto 2. No tail looking to go. FNG. Lightning Bolt. Lightning Bolt. There it goes. They find it. Mag stuck into place. Now wrapping around is EE. He does get used up. They did see him out for some reason. I think they might have some protection. Mag getting caught. Phobos as well. There's no bash for EE. And instead of taking this fight, they're going to try to go for the tier 2 tower instead. The anti-mage illusions going to Phobos, not doing anything, but again, a big engagement from Cloud9, but somehow the carnage only happens to one person.
Yep, and it was a nice attempt there by FNG, but it's just the problem with their draft is that it's hard to lock down heroes. Like their only real lockdown is like a Night Stalker Silence, but that won't work now that the Yules is out for Fata. And of course, now that the Manta's up for anti-mage, this is what I expected, really. Like, once they get their core items, if they can get to that point for Cloud9, because they had a better than average laning start with these heroes. Once they get to that point, it's really hard for ASUS to lock anybody down. Their strength was in the mid game, which was kind of like 8 minutes ago, when they could get like an Ags up on the Venomancer. They have their abilities. Maybe Slark finally gets a BKB or something like that. But I feel like it's kind of passed, and now anti-mage is going to be too much to handle, especially once he gets like a heart.
And honestly, we discussed this, but it feels almost like if ASUS.Polar wanted to have that mid game, they needed to fight a bit better, because they kind of traded evenly, more so than anything else, in a lot of these engagements. They should have had the better early and mid game, and it just felt like Cloud9 were actually getting a lot more than they probably should have, except for maybe Bone 7 dying. They did kill Fata a couple of times, but they were still getting kills. Cloud9 were still rotating, and they were still playing well. Well, he is really feeling himself, apparently. 149 puck games, 144 blinks. That is a lot of puck games. My God. That's ridiculous.
I could just I could say some kind of dumb pun, but I'm not even gonna do it. All right, so, but and keep in mind too, this Battle Fury Treads was very, very late for Anti-Mage. So, like you mentioned, they had like a good laning stage, and then they fed a few kills from the puck and the bristleback, but just Aces couldn't connect after that. Another thing to note too that I didn't really talk about, as we've seen it so much, but haven't really said anything about it, is that the Zeus ult is actually pretty nice against the darkness and the anti-vision that the Night Stalker provides, because it does expose all the heroes instantly, and it's pretty good against a hero. There is an Axe, like we talked about, for Night Stalker with a gem, so they can maybe do some dewarding, but this is very late to do that.
Yeah, they wanted map control early on so they could snowball, and that's just not happening. And again, Zeus No-Tail has been on point with these counter wards, and Envy goes straight for hard. I thought he might go for a basher, maybe some other item for, I guess, just fighting, maybe even doing more damage, but hard is his choice, and they probably prioritize giving the Aegis now to the Bristleback. And by the way, he went for the Scotty, and they are chasing bottom lane. FNG is way out of position. Zeus going to go. Will Yule's up onto the Bristleback. Warpath stack still up to 5. He's looking to turn around. Lil is stuck between a rock and a hard place. He's going to have to Grave Chill. Still gets Viscous Nasal Good. And they actually got blocked by his own Plague Ward. Fata does bring down Venge on the backside. And there's the Mana Void. DK Phobos getting right click. Poison Nova gets off, but at this point it's turning into a pretty big, awful fight for ASUS.Polar. Illidan does pop the BKB. EE's looking to turn on him and fight. Bone 7's like, I want to bring him down. And he will Shadow Dance just in time. He's going to try to turn and engage, but Bone 7 is too tanky. Dream Coil comes out. Does Dark Pact it off. Shadow Blades away as well, and he's lucky to get alive by the skin of his teeth.
He's doing everything that he can, but it's just not enough, and he doesn't have enough damage. And like I said, Anti-Mage, he just bought the full heart. It's like impossible to kill this guy. They didn't even use Finger, I don't believe, from Lion, because he still has it up ready to go. Unless he used it very early on and then it's cooling down. But
he never used it.
Yeah, and there's another Aegis here for Bone 7, and so he went for a Scotty onto the Bristleback, so keeping people in place is the name of the game for him.
It's like a troll, SNY Scotty and Viscous Nasal Good instead of having the bash.
Yeah.
It's a bit frightening. Illidan's gonna come in. Somebody take it. Wow, they had so long. He had so long to grab that. And maybe he thought they had already picked it up, but he's gonna chase after Illidan. Yule Scepter onto Mag. He is about to go down. Actually, Lightning Bolt, okay, he will go down. It looks like the figure's gonna come out. Bottom lane, Illidan is sitting at 18 HP. Now the Zeus ult comes through. He was able to Mana Void and take out all of his mana, make sure that he couldn't be effective, couldn't Shadow Dance or Shadow Blade away, and he's dead for 69 with no buyback. And I think they just go straight for this tier 3 tower, plus they lose a Visage Familiar in the process. EE is literally running into the base at this point. Now blinks away. Yeah, they have to wait for the creep wave. Also, Phobos is like split pushing or something.
Well, bots is going to bot to mid, and he did buy the bots as you expected, which I love. I love bots on almost every hero, honestly. Here comes the Yule's up onto the Venomancer. No ult for 8 seconds, even if he does get it off, I don't think it matters. He's actually going to pop the BKB, maybe gets a kill in Misery before he dies. Ult in 2, and he does get it.
Misery had the Aegis, by the way. I forgot about that.
Me too.
And, well, Fots is going to phase shift. They do get the kill. He does actually waste a lot of time. Fata might... He's very low. He's going to use up the poison thing. Almost ticked him down. He's going to phase shift again. How many ways does this guy have to survive? It seems like an infinite number. It's ridiculous.
Yep. It's just... the Anti-Mage is too much of a problem now. I've already stressed it enough. He's going to have a Basher here right now if he wants it, which he should probably just buy it. I don't think they're going to need him to buy back anyway, unless he wants to just buy back and finish the game. Like, they use every spell on him, he somehow dies, then he can buy back and finish the game. But yeah, this game is... it would take a miracle for Aces to win this, honestly.
I don't see Envy playing that kind of aggressive playstyle. He seems more methodical to me, but I've been wrong before. He will take the NBH stack. Lil is going to TP away. I'm not sure what he was doing in the jungle, not even getting a ward off or anything. No-Tail is farming up the jungle. He has a Ghost Scepter. Probably goes for the Ethereal Blade if they need it, which... Like you said, there needs to be a miracle for ASUS.Polar. Zeus ult will scout things out. They will see that Mag and Illidan Stormrage are outside of the base and just kind of chilling. And now Bone 7 has the gem, which was Mag, so that's kind of an issue. There's the Basher done for Illidan. What about for EE? What about MB? 4,000 gold. He needs to buy something. Maybe he just waits for a butterfly, I guess.
Full butterfly could be, yeah.
Izuri's gonna try to TP out and gets bashed up, and Illidan says, I don't think so. No-Tail was gonna just watching that happen. He'll go Scepter as well. Lightning Bolt's gonna come out. Now EE comes in, and Mag's like, I did not sign up for this. That is a full Met-style EE coming at me. Illidan in trouble as well. The Drip Coil did Dark Pact it. Lightning Bolt, both cores fall. Jeez.
If they noticed, too, that the Basher was just picked up on Slark, which they should because he was doing some bashing, then they should know that he doesn't have money for buyback.
Yeah, he walks right down mid, so.
Lil Hardy trying to split push in the bottom lane, and actually Fox is going to blink towards him. Makes him stay in place with the Yules. A DD with Scotty up onto Bone 7.
Now, if he could actually get his right click off, Fata's doing all the work, and then he walks in only for the kill to be stolen by No-Tail and Fata. Well, not that he did much work anyways. Meanwhile, FAG getting chased down. Mana Void, is this a worthy target? He's thinking about it. No, he doesn't have it. I was looking at the Man's Illusion. Yeah, he's got it on a cooldown for 23 seconds. Not that he needs it. They'll go right for the tier 3 tower. And what seems to be the beginning of the end here for ASUS.Polar. They have heroes down for about 30 seconds. Mag will be up in 8, but what can he do? Envy is too farmed. He is too big. It is too difficult to take him down.
Oh, wow, it makes the sound again? I thought that when you spam the Zeus ulti cancel, it like stopped making it after the first time, but I heard it a bunch there.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Zeus ult comes out apparently. Rax is down mid, Rax is down bottom. No, Bone 7 is working at a tier 3 actually. Not doing as much damage as I anticipated, but his Warpath now still starting to stack up to about 300 damage-ish. Envy does take down the Rax. Bottom Rax gone. Illidan gets hexed up. Nice swap out. FNG gets blown up. What else is happening? They're going to try to fight Dream Coil onto a lot. Finger goes and blows up Illidan. That should be it, and GG is going to come out. DK Phobos pops the BKB, pops the Poison Nova, but he gets popped in the end. Now Mag's going to get hexed up as well. Viscous Dizagu, and that is going to be it.
Yep, it was just, like I mentioned in the beginning, if I saw anyone else draft this kind of lineup from that ASUS.Polar had, I would be very skeptical. But because they've done so many weird things, I thought it was going to work. I still instinctively thought that they had no solution to the anti-mage once he gets his Manta. And it seemed like right about then, once he got the Manta, they just kind of snowballed for the side of C9. Now, obviously, it wasn't just the anti-mage that was a huge problem. Like, the Zeus ultis that were giving tons of scouting vision. The Bristleback was very, very tanky. They took some engagements that were questionable that had nothing to do with the draft from ASUS, like, you know, diving a Bristleback at the tier 2 tower, things like that. So they definitely could have played it better, but I still think there was an innate problem with the draft.
Yeah, we talked about how we kind of trust ASUS.Polar to make these right decisions in the draft, but from the beginning, it just didn't seem right. And you know, Slark for Illidan is not necessarily a free win as well. That's another thing that they have to keep in mind. And maybe they have to do something innovative with this next draft. Maybe they have to play a bit more passive or a bit more sound Dota. But whatever it is, they've got to change their game plan here, because Cloud9, they had that game from almost, I wouldn't say beginning to end, but they had it for a pretty big portion of that game. So with that being said, game number 1 now in the books. Game number 2 coming up in just a second, guys. Make sure you check us out at DotaPit.com, Twitter.com/DotaPit, as well as we have some giveaways going on, which you can check out on the Twitter page for DotaPit, which is Twitter.com/DotaPit, as I just mentioned. Also, if you enjoy the cast, make sure you check us out at MontDota, at TrofDota, at MontPax, and at PitMontGoal. With that being said, we'll be right back, guys. Game number 2 coming up shortly. Stick around.